Metro Vancouver home sales just dropped nearly 10% compared to this time last year. Sales are sitting almost 30% below the 10-year seasonal average, and active inventory is now 37% above normal levels. This combination is rare for Vancouver and something that we haven't seen in years. We're not just seeing a slow month, we're seeing demand running well below historical norms, supply building well above it, and prices are already down year over year across every major property type, including detached, apartments, and townhomes. In this video, we have the February data, and I'm going to be breaking down what this shift is signaling, walk through the Rennie Advanced perspective, compare Greater Vancouver to the Fraser Valley, and then deep dive into specific Vancouver submarkets so you know exactly where buyers have leverage, where sellers need to adjust, and what this spring market could mean if you're thinking about making a move. This video is part of an exclusive collaboration with top real estate YouTubers from across North America. We're each breaking down what's really happening in our local markets, the stuff that you are not hearing in the local news. If you want a real inside look at what's going on beyond Vancouver, make sure you check out all the videos linked below. These aren't random creators, these are people who know their markets inside and out. So let's get into the numbers right now. We're going to start here with the sales highlights first here in February. So there's 2,433 MLS sales in Vancouver, which was up 45% from the previous January, but falls in line with that seasonal numbers that we see from January to February. However, sales were 8% lower than in February of 2025, and that was a time when US tariff threats and a collapse in consumer confidence brought housing market activity to a complete halt. And it was the third lowest February sales count on record in the past 22 years, so something quite substantial. Across all home types, recorded a year-over-year slippage in sales, condos by 13%, detached by 7%, and townhomes by 5%. And total sales were 38% below the 10-year February average, with detached home sales were the furthest below that average, under 51%, which is something to take note of. So we have the chart here, and what I like here is this dotted red line is that 10-year average. Again, we don't want to see what's just been happening over the last couple years. We want to see what's happened across the past decade. So when we look at these detached sales, especially under 51%, you can see that this is numbers that we haven't seen in a very, very long time. So just 698 sales in the detached segment. When we go to the townhouse segment, again, well below that 10-year average at 32%, with just 524 sales and amongst the lowest that we've seen in the past decade as well. Condo sales, again, 35% below the 10-year average, with just 1,087 sales across the whole of Greater Vancouver, which is putting us in territory that is continuing pushing these sales pricing down. Now, as we head into the listing data here to see how the table is going to be set for this upcoming spring market. So we're going to go with new listings first. There are 7,161 new MLS listings in Vancouver in the region in February, down 10% relative to the previous February, but 3% above the 10-year February average. All home types recorded fewer new listings than last February, 15% down with condos, 12% down on townhomes, and 6% down in the detached market. New condo listings were the furthest below average, increase of 11%, followed by townhomes at 2%. Meanwhile, new detached home listings were below at 13%, which is interesting to look at. So as we look at the graphs here, we're going to start at the top again with the detached. You can see with the 2,472, these were the new listings in the detached segment here, down 13%, which is interesting. We go to the townhouse segment, up 2% above that 10-year average at 1,230 units. And then on the condo side, finally, increase of 11% with 3,093 new listings in the market. So again, this is new listings. This is not active inventory. There needs to be a differentiation. I do find with the detached data, this is something that is a little bit interesting as we've seen a decline. As we go into the inventory numbers, remember this is different than new inventory. New inventory are new listings. Inventory here represents active data, active listings that are on the board from February of 2026. So some of the highlights here, again, we're right around that $20,000 mark in active listings. There were 19,920 active listings in the Vancouver region at the end of February, 3% higher than the previous year. and 52% above the 10-year February average. This was the most amount of inventory that we have seen at the end of February since 2013, when there was 21,295 active listings. So something that we haven't seen in 13 years. So this is a very unique market that we're in. And when you're seeing these numbers, especially with the amount of inventory, these are things as a buyer, first-time home buyer, someone who's wanting to maybe upsize in this market, this is music to your ears. These are inventory levels that we haven't seen in almost a decade and a half, which means pricing and negotiations are going to be in your favor. Active townhome listings were the furthest above their long-run monthly average, up 77%, followed by condos at 63% and detached homes at 30%. As you can see with these numbers here, completely different from the new inventory. So that we've seen, some increase or declines, small declines in terms of the new inventory numbers, but these properties are continuing to sit. When you see a 77% increase on townhomes, that shows that there's new inventory that's piling up every single month and they're just not selling. There are 8.2 months of inventory in February, down from 11 in January, but well above the past 10-year monthly average of 3.9. Detached home conditions were considered favorable to buyers with months of inventory of 11.2, while the condo and townhome segments were both considered balanced at 7.2 and 6 respectively. So as we go out here to the charts, so you can see here with the detached inventory first, 30% above the 10-year average. And this is the highest February that we've seen, as we mentioned, back to 2013. That is incredible. The townhouse side of things, 77%. You can see how high we are, 30,166 active townhouse listings. So if this is a segment you want to upsize from outside of that condo, or maybe as a first-time home buyer, as these townhouse prices continue to drop, this may be a great segment for you to skip the ladder on the condo side and get right into the townhouse segment immediately. And then on the condo side of things, up 63% to 7,840 units. So we're almost at that 20,000 supply number here. Finally, as we get to the part that you're most concerned about, median prices, what happened here? So to get to some of the highlights here, on a year-over-year basis, median sold prices were down 7% in Greater Vancouver and 9% in the Valley. So Vancouver outperforming the Valley just by 2 points here. In Greater Vancouver, detached home prices, as you can see, were down 6% in comparison to the Fraser Valley at 9%. When we go to the townhouse segment on the graph, Greater Vancouver drop of 7%, Fraser Valley the exact same at 7%, and then on the condo side of things, Greater Vancouver is doing actually a little bit better by about 5% here, 6% drop year over year as opposed to 11% drop in the Fraser Valley. So I like these charts here, and you can see Vancouver's in the blue and Fraser Valley is in the yellow here, just to see how these two areas are doing. And when we go to the detached market, 1.75 is the average median price point for detached compared to 1.32 in the Fraser Valley. Townhomes are now under that $1 million marker in Vancouver at $995 compared to $775 in the Valley. And then condos continue to drop here, $660 average compared to the $475 average as well. So, and I think we're going to continue to get these micro declines all the way through 2026. But when I say that as a buyer, don't just wait. If there's a good opportunity and they are out there, I would encourage you to seriously consider it. You never know when things are going to change. I do think this is going to be sought for a while, but with what we're seeing with negotiations, you can get a good value purchase right here, right now. And with your life circumstances, if it's something that you are needing to make a move on, I would highly consider looking at what happens here before we get into the spring market. Spring market comes in, more buyers are excited, families are gearing up for a new school catchment area, people are relocating for jobs. The spring market is a little bit more competitive. If you can get in right before, that may be a good opportunity as well. So as we get out of the Rennie stats here and go micro here specifically in Vancouver, I'm going to show you some really good areas, whether you're a buyer and seller, that you may want to consider. So if we look at the February numbers specifically here for Vancouver, not Greater Vancouver as a whole, there's 3,382 inventory across the segments, 454 sales, and a sales ratio at 13%. So just in balanced market conditions. When we get under 12% as a whole, you're in those buyer market conditions as well. So in the downtown segment first, so we go into the attached market for both condos and townhomes. It's sitting at that 13% sales ratio, balanced market, average price point $773,750. Consider this, that they are taking both condo prices and townhome prices to get to these median numbers. 881 inventory with just 116 sales, and average days on market 16 days. But again, as you know, I'm not a fan of these numbers. You can reset them if you relist these properties. So days on market here are much, much longer. You can find easily units in downtown Vancouver that have been on market off and on for several years, 3 years, 4 years. I just sold one in the Vancouver house. It was on and off for about 5 years as well. When we look at the January versus February variances here, we can see that sales surged up 61% from 72 to 116 in the downtown core. Prices up 5% and days on market dropped 59%. But again, I'm not really concerned about the days on market here. We do know that we've seen a little bit of an uptick on the market here over the last couple of weeks, so I'm not surprised to see that an increase in sales numbers and pricing up a little bit. But keep in mind, just because prices are going up, people are also being a lot more realistic with their price point. Sales are happening a little bit quicker over the last couple of weeks. And pricing, even though you may see full ask offers, you're getting good value in a lot of these segments because a lot of sellers are being realistic right now and wanting to make these moves. So to go to sales ratio by price band, you're going to see this dotted line. This is at 20%. Anything above this 20% line is actually seller market conditions. There's 3 price segments in the downtown market that are in seller market conditions. Anything from 500 to 800,000 right now is in those seller market conditions in those condo segments. Just because, and I want to caveat this, you see seller market conditions, it doesn't mean that pricing is going crazy. What we are really seeing on the ground here is sellers being realistic, homes selling very close to what they are asking and in shorter amounts of time, but they're not asking for 2021 pricing. They're asking for 2026 pricing. So just because you're in seller market conditions doesn't automatically mean it's a multiple offer scenario. And then you can see for the bulk here, and especially at the next marker here, under that 12%, there are several categories here that you can get some value, especially if you are in that 1.25 up to 2 million, you are firmly planted in buyer market conditions. So if you're looking for a little higher end or bigger condos, townhomes in the downtown core, anywhere from 1.25 to 1.5 is at 8% sales ratio, 1.5 to 1.75 is at 2%. So this is a really good pocket, and 1.75 to 2 million is at 6%. So there's a couple pockets here in the higher end where if you're a buyer, you're wanting to live in the downtown market, these are the areas that I would be looking at. Your most active price band is obviously that 5 to 800K, and buyers' best bets in that 1.5 to 1.75 at that 2% as we just highlighted. When we go to the community breakdown, if you're looking for some specific areas along with that price point that we just went over, Cole Harbour remains to be good value. You know, right on the water, great views, close to the seawall, a little bit slower pace, higher age in terms of demographics, but it's at a 5% sales ratio. Yaletown and West End are more balanced at 13 to 14%, and on average, homes are selling 4% below price on the downtown core. When we get into the detached side of things, we're going to start on the west side. Buyer's market, again, it's been like this for well over a year, 9% sales ratio, just 55 sales in February, and the median sale price now is at $3.28 million with the average days on market of 18 days. If we look at January versus February variances, just on a month-to-month on the west side detached markets, 90% sales jump, 29 to 55 sold, 8% increase in price from 3.04 to 3.28, and an 18% increase in price per square foot, while days on market dropped as well. As mentioned, there has been a little bit of a flurry of activity over the last couple of weeks. We're getting out of that January slumber, so not super surprising to see that we're seeing an increase. I think this is more of a seasonal thing here as well. When we go to sales ratio by price band, this is something that is interesting to see. Again, that 20 mark, there are a couple areas where we're seeing seller market conditions. Obviously in this 1 million to 1.25 is sitting at 100%. Keep in mind, some of these data points, there's not a lot of data out there. Sales are very low, so these can have these huge variances with some of these graphs. So especially when you're looking at 1 million to 1.25 on Vancouver's Westside, there's barely anything that exists. But if you get a little bit higher, we're going to be getting a little bit more data. 2.5 to 2.75 on Vancouver's Westside is competitive, sitting at a 39% sales ratio. 1.5 to 1.75, again, it's competitive at 50% sales ratio. You know, these are going to be building lots, right, in Vancouver's west side. When you get into a very sweet spot, 2.75 to 3 million is just that 2% sales ratio. That's where I would be keen in on. If you're a detached individual, if you're wanting to purchase on that wavelength, this is going to be some good opportunity. 4.5 to 5 million, 3%. But essentially from 2.75 to 5 million plus, you're ranging here in terms of pretty pretty strong selections other than this 4 million to 4.5 million mark at 16%, which is balanced market conditions. Likely they had a couple sales and that's why it's pushed it up a little bit higher there. When we look at some of the top communities on the Westside detached side of things, Kinsilano dominates at 31%. Shaughnessy, Marpole, South Granville under 5%. So again, mixing in those price parameters with these locations to get some good value. 3 to 4 bedroom homes are the most active, and then on average selling 5% below list price. When we go to the attached side of things on the west side, a balanced market at 14%, a little bit higher obviously than the detached market. 811 inventory, 110 sales in February, median price $878,500. When we look at the month-to-month variance, again, pretty similar to what we saw with those detached markets, 49% sales jump, 3% price increase month-to-month, 9% increase on price per square foot. And again, I think this is just very seasonal. When we go sales ratio by price band, we can see that the 600 to 700,000 mark, very popular right now. These are going to be condos for sure on the west side at 28% sales ratio. And then in looking for buyers on the attached side of things is 1.5 to 1.7 million mark. I would be looking at 4% sales ratio, and this 2 million to 2.25 million mark at 4% as well. So these are some areas if you're looking for some duplexes, from some townhouses. These are some good areas here in terms of your price bands. Top communities in the attached market, Point Grey leads at 40%. Sellers market conditions, Fairview at 25% and Kits at 22%. So also strong just in those seller market conditions. Fairview, Kits always have done very well in Vancouver. Marpole, Oak Ridge, South Granville under 7%. And then selling 2% below list price on average. Getting into the Eastside detached market here. So buyer market conditions at 10%. So just a hair above the 9% on Vancouver's west side. 494 inventory, median sale price at 1.825 million with 15 days on market. The January versus February variance, sales were up 38%, pricing went up 10% because it was quite shocking if you remember the market update from last year that the average Eastside detached property was at 1.66 million, which was very, very low. So it's come up a little bit, but again, we have a very limited supply of data here as well. As we go to top communities in the detached side, in the east side, Victoria leads at 30%. Sellers market, most active pricing 1 million to 1.25. You're not going to get very much if you're looking at this. These are going to be very small lots. There's going to be something problematic. I did have a client talk to me about just getting into a detached market. I would very much advise against that. We know that this market is tough. In the future, you never know when life throws you a detour when you have to sell. Everyone who's getting hammered right now are properties that have some sort of question marks. So just because you can fit into a segment because you can afford it doesn't mean it's necessarily a good decision. You don't want to be stretching into a detached market to buying a regular lot, a small lot size, a small frontage, issues maybe with the peat bog, for example, because it's just not going to appreciate. So make sure that you have some strategy and you get some good advice. Buyers' best bets, 2.5 to 2.7 million and 3 million to 3.5 million in the Collingwood, Maine and Renfrew Heights area, and selling 4% below list price. When we go to the east side attached market, it's actually in seller market conditions right now, 21% sales ratio, 599 inventory and an average median price of 710,000. If we look at hot areas in the east side market, you're going to see Mount Pleasant at 37%. So that's actually had an increase because we were starting to see it actually have a dramatically drop, especially in one bedrooms in the Mount Pleasant area in buyer market conditions. Victoria at 38%, Knight at 40%, Fraser at 31%, Killarney at 33%. So we've definitely seen a resurgence. A lot of these areas are in seller market conditions. So maybe a good opportunity as a seller if you're thinking of making a move and just understanding as a buyer, some of these other areas are starting to heat up. And as a buyer, your best bet is in between this 1.5 to 1.75 marker, South Vancouver, 4+ bedroom properties. That's going to be obviously your townhome, your duplex. As we put all the segments here on screen so you can see what the best advantages are, whether you're a buyer or seller, you're definitely going to see the detached market stand out here on the west side and east side markers. You're in buyer market conditions. And if you're a seller and you're on the east side in those attached markets, we are just in those seller market conditions. So perhaps making a move in the spring is something that you're wanting to take advantage of and climbing up that real estate ladder to get high value in the attached market at 21% and getting into the detached market at a value. But in any case, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.